This is a Video Surgeon tutorial on how to use the Video Surgeon Sniffer technology. It's really quite easy to do, and I think you will find it much more convenient than the older way in which we used to do this, not to mention the fact that it has unlimited possibilities in terms of you being able to find and download videos. So let's take a quick look here. First, we open Video Surgeon. And once it opens, you'll see that we have this new little button up here called, it says Toggle Sniffer Window. And so what you do is you click on that, and that will actually open sort of a detached window, which at the top says Recently Sniffed Videos. And then what I do is I minimize the main interface and have this one open, and then you go ahead and open your browser, and it can be any browser, doesn't really matter which one. Open your browser and you will see that this little window stays on top. So it is always going to be on top, because as you are browsing and looking at and looking for videos, as Video Surgeon finds those videos, it will pop them into this little box, and that way you can see which videos are being loaded into here, so you know which videos are which. So that's why this little box is always on top. So with that as a very brief introduction, let's go ahead and just click some videos at random here and load them into that. What you can see here is that I've clicked a video, and as soon as it starts to play, or download actually, I shouldn't say download, as soon as it starts to play in your browser, so your browser is downloading it, you are not, or the Video Surgeon is not downloading it, but your browser is downloading it to play it. As soon as the browser starts to download it, you can see that it pops up some information in here, and we'll talk about that in just a second. So let's just go then to another video here. And again, a video's starting to load here in the browser. Starts to play and pops right in here to the little window that says Recently Sniffed Videos. I mean, I'm on YouTube. We can literally go to almost any site, and we'll talk a little bit about that as well. I'm not going to take the time to go to another site, because for purposes of what we're trying to do here today, I just simply want to demonstrate how this works, and you'll find out for yourself as you begin to use it that you can visit and use this new technology on an incredible number of sites, literally millions and millions of sites. So here are a couple of videos. I'm going to just keep adding some here. And as you can see, every time I click a link and I add one, it fills this video up here. It fills this video window, this sniffer window as we call it, and it populates it with a particular link. So at this juncture, I've got several videos loaded in this sniffer window. So let's talk a little bit about what we have and how this all works. So first of all, you can see that there is a number here, and what we do is, as these videos are sniffed, we chronologically assign a number. So video 5 here is the most recently sniffed video. Video 1 was the first one that you happened to sniff. The next thing you can see is a time at which a video was sniffed, or the link was found and placed into this box. Then we have a file type. In this case, these are all FLVs, and that's going to be a very common format. You'll see some that will say text only. You'll see some that will say MP4. You will see others as well, but this is probably the most common type, obviously. And then it gives you some information about the size of the video. So you know, for downloading purposes, how big this thing is. In this case, up at the top for number 5, it's 0.28 megabytes, which is pretty tiny. The biggest one we have in here is 31 megabytes, which, you know, for downloading shouldn't be a huge deal, but it is still somewhat sizable. So that's what we populate this window with this type of data. And again, every time a video starts to play, every time you click a video and you open it, it should pop into this window or populate this window with information about that video which it's recently found. Now, that being said, let's then do a couple of things. First of all, the remove button is just exactly what it says it is. If we go to this one, it's 31.75 megabytes, and if for some reason we don't want to download that, we think it's too big, we click remove, and it simply removes it from the window or deletes it. Similarly, if we want to preview, because we get a lot of video links in here and we don't remember which is which, and we want to download one, or we think we would like to download one but we don't remember whether that's the right video, click the preview button and it should open a window for you. There it is. You can see it's opened a window, and so you can preview it and you can say, yep, that's the video I want to download, or no, it's not. And if it is, then you can go ahead and download it. If it's not, you could go ahead and remove it, for example. Moving to these other two buttons on the bottom then, download and play and download only. Now these buttons are similar, but there's a very significant difference between them. If you click download and play, or you click download only, they will both open a typical Windows dialog box that looks like this, and they will require you to put a name in here. Let's just call this test. So you're going to name this file test. Now, if you click download and play, what will happen is that Video Surgeon will download this video. It will save it in this AVI format, because that is the format that Video Surgeon uses internally to enable you to manipulate files once they're downloaded. And then if you go ahead and click this, it will download it. And then once it's downloaded it, it will convert it to this AVI format. And then once the conversion is complete, it will actually play the video. So let's go ahead and click this and just watch this as it happens. I'm sorry, I already have that window open. So we've given it a name here. We lastly need to click the Save button in the Windows dialog box in order for this to start the process of saving the video. So we've clicked it and it's starting to download. Now you can see as it is downloading that this little box next to it is turned orange, while these others above it are still red. And we'll talk about that in just a second. What I want to show you here as we finish up is that it has been downloading. Now it's downloaded it. Now it's starting the conversion process. So it's converting this to test, which is the name that we assigned to this particular video, and it's going to convert it to an AVI format. And then once it has completed the conversion, it will actually open up in the main Video Surgeon window right here, and it will begin to play it as it is doing. So that's what happens when you click download and play. Now, on the other hand, if you were to grab a video, let's go ahead and grab this one that's pretty tiny at 0.28 and click download only, and then give it a file name. We're going to call it test 1. What you can see is that what pops into this box here is FLV, because it is an FLV file. And what you need to understand is that when we click download only and we open this typical Windows dialog box, it is going to download this file only. It is not going to convert it. And it will also not only download it, let me say that differently, not only will it not convert the file, it will not play the file either, like we just saw in this example where when we click download and play, it did exactly that. It downloaded it, it converted it, and it played it. With download only, you're going to assign it a name. It's only going to download the file. It's not going to convert it, and it's not going to play it. Now, later on, if you want to open it in Video Surgeon to manipulate it, to slow it down, speed it up, do all the other things that Video Surgeon does, when you open that file up, that test FLV file, Video Surgeon will have to convert it at that point in time. It's just that as you're doing it now, it's not going to go through that. And there's some reasons why you might want to do download only versus download and play, and I'll talk about those in just a second, but let's go ahead and just save this for the time being. There it is. It's already downloaded it, and as you can see, it is turned red. Now, let's just pause a second and sort of review and summarize and then explain from my perspective how you might want to use these. If you're only going to find one or two files that you want to download and then open up immediately into Video Surgeon and begin to slow it down or to set loop points or to zoom in, then probably download and play is the right way to go, because it sort of automates the process of downloading it, converting it, and then it initiates Video Surgeon and it actually begins to play it for you. However, if you are on the net and you're surfing around and you want to download 10 videos or 100 videos, let's say you're looking for a particular song that you want to learn and you're not certain which video on the internet is the best video for you to learn from, you might surf around half a dozen different sites and you might find 18 different videos of that particular song. In that case, I would suggest that it might be better for you to use the download only, because you could call, you click download only and you name it, song 1, and then the next one, song 2, the next one, song 3. So you might have this particular song file downloaded these 18 different times, or you found 18 different versions of it. And when you click download only, it's going to skip that process of converting and of playing, which is going to allow you to download these videos a lot faster, and also it's going to use a lot less CPU resources. So from my perspective, that's how I look at this. If you're going to download a lot of videos, you want to download them quickly, and you're going to deal with the actual figuring out how you're going to use them later and setting loop points and slowing down later and all of those things, then download only is really the way to go. However, if you're just looking for a single video or maybe one or two or three, then download and play is probably the better way to go, because as soon as it downloads it, it converts it and it begins to play it immediately. So that's why we have these two different buttons. It really depends on the frame of mind, on the task that you're trying to accomplish as you are using Video Surgeon. If you're using it to really grab a whole bunch of videos quickly, then use download only. If you're using it to find one or two videos and you want to immediately begin to use the other zooming and slowing down features of Video Surgeon, then I would use download and play. So that is an explanation for these two buttons and how they work and what the differences are. Now, the other thing which we haven't talked about that I need to briefly touch on is this color coding. So essentially what happens with the color coding is that when you first load a video into Video Surgeon, it's going to have a red box. Once you've downloaded it, it's going to turn green to tell you that it's been downloaded. And while it is downloading, so you don't start a download a second time, it's going to be orange. So green tells you that the video download is complete, orange tells you that it is in process, and red tells you that it has not been downloaded at all. So that is how the color codes work and the key for those color codes. Now, the last thing which I want to just briefly talk with you about is those situations that you're going to encounter where the Sniffer window, or Video Surgeon, I should say, doesn't find a link. And there are cases like that. I'm going to estimate that probably 90%, 90% of all the websites that you visit, you're going to be able to download videos from. And that equates to millions and millions of websites and millions of videos. Clearly an unlimited supply. But some small number of sites, because of the way that they've built these sites, when you go there with Video Surgeon, you're not going to be able to download anything. And the question is, how do you know? We were not able to build into this any type of a message that says can't download the video, because essentially what we're doing here is we're looking for a particular type of network activity. And when we detect it, then we can detect a video and we pop something into this little sniffer window. Well, if we're not detecting anything, then we have no trigger event by which to say there's something here or there is nothing here, and therefore we can't alert you that there is a video here that you cannot download because we can't detect the video in the first place. I hope you understand that. I may not be explaining it that well. I apologize if that's not coming across. But anyway, we can't use a non-event, the inability to not find a video stream. We can't use that event as a trigger to tell you that there is no video here. So essentially, what you need to understand is that if you go to a particular website, and I'm going to go to one that I know that does not work. It's called Hulu, I believe, www.hulu.com. So if we go to hulu.com, and I really don't know exactly what the focus of this website is, but I do know that it's out there, and I do know that it's got a lot of stuff on it, and it tends to be TV oriented. So if we go to there, and here's something on Jimmy Kimmel, if we click Watch Now, this video is going to start to play. And the video is loading, and nothing up here has changed. Here we go, it's starting to play. Nothing has changed. And we've got some sort of introductory screens here. Now we've got an introductory commercial. Now interestingly, let me just note for you, something just was sniffed. That commercial was sniffed. And that was this one at 0.41 seconds. Now here's a second commercial that's been sniffed, 2.6 megabytes. As soon as it's done, I'll just stop this and show you that that's this commercial, okay? It's a 30-second commercial. And these are all in front of this video from Jimmy Kimmel Live. Okay, I'm going to stop this just a second. Now let's go back and just take a look at this and just confirm. There it is. So that indeed is the commercial that was appearing on this screen. But now we've had two commercials appear, and now the actual video that you clicked that you really wanted to see, let's say this Jimmy Kimmel video, is not only loading, but it's playing, and no other links are being detected. And that's really what you need to understand here. If you go to a video and you click it and it starts to play, and some of these videos auto-load when you get to a page, so you don't even need to click them. But if a video starts to play, and after 10, 15, but certainly say 20 seconds max, if there is no new video that is sniffed and added or populated into this sniffer window, then you can pretty much assume that that site, or at least that particular video, is one in which you're not going to be able to find a URL for and therefore not be able to download. The other slight nuance here to understand is that some sites, MetaCafe is one of those, when you get into an official music video like a Mariah Carey video, or pick your favorite, Red Hot Chili Peppers. The official music videos are often encoded in such a way and put on these sites that you won't be able to detect a video link for those, and therefore the sniffer window will not chronologically increase, and you won't see any additional links populate this. But those might only be for those, quote, official music videos. Therefore, if you go to another part of the site, like MetaCafe, for instance, has many hundreds of guitar lessons and drum lessons and all these other types of lessons, tennis, swimming, whatever you're looking for. Those types of lessons, which are on MetaCafe, you're going to be easily able to sniff and find a video link for. But for, quote, these official ones, that are more commercially oriented. Some of those you may not be able to sniff. So it's not necessarily a complete website which is going to be off limits, although in some cases like Hulu, other than the commercials which you can detect, from what I've seen, the whole website will be off limits. But on many of the other websites, you'll find that a video is off limits, but maybe the rest of the website isn't. So just keep that in mind and don't give up on the site from a single video. Surf around a little bit and check several different types of videos on the site, and you'll be able to ascertain or determine whether or not it's the complete site or just a particular video or a couple of particular videos on the site. So this is getting to be a bit lengthy, but I wanted to go through in some detail these different options that you might encounter, these different situations that you might encounter, and explain those to you in some detail so you have a fairly complete understanding of how this sniffer technology works. So that's going to conclude this video. I know you're going to really appreciate and enjoy this new technology, and we appreciate having you as a customer. Thanks. Bye.